Welcome to Conversations. I'm Muqtedar, your host. And today I have a very special commentary to make. It's not about geopolitics or India's foreign policy or US foreign policy. I will talk a little bit about geopolitics and the global balance of power at the end of the discussion. But what I really want to talk to you about today is something that everybody seems to be obsessed with these days, which is artificial intelligence. In the last few months, the whole world has discovered artificial intelligence. There are many manifestations of artificial intelligence out there. What I really want to do in this is I listened to a recent interview that Elon Musk gave Tucker, to Tucker Carlson, formerly of Fox News. And in that, he had talked about many things, but he talked about four or five things which are kind of scary about the potential and dangers of artificial intelligence. So I want to identify what those scary ideas of Elon Musk are, and I kind of agree with him on most of those issues. And I will then talk about how we can potentially deal with them. And then at the end of this presentation, I will reflect on how and to what extent impact geopolitics and the global balance of power. So before I begin, please do the needful, subscribe to Conversations, like the video, press the bell icon, and don't forget to share this with your friends and your social network. All right, so let's begin by just answering the simple question, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a development in computer science and cognitive sciences, which essentially empowers computers to perform tasks. Computers, a network of computers, robots, which are driven and managed by computers. So it allows all of these devices to perform functions which require some basic intelligence. So artificial intelligence is that development in computer science which enables computers and robots which are controlled by computers or have computers inside them are capable of performing functions which require some intelligence, such as writing poetry, painting, having the concept of aesthetics, of beauty. So you can see the latest AI functions which is available out there. The Chat GPT writes so well. It writes better than most people. In fact, now when I see well-written papers, I become very suspicious that perhaps it's written by Chat GPT rather than one of my students. And of course, it has also demonstrated its capacity to paint. So if computers with artificial intelligence can have a sense of aesthetics, then that shows the amazing complexity of artificial intelligence. So what are the points that Elon Musk raises? The first point that he raised was very interesting. He's talking about a large uh, American digital information IT company, which has, or at that time when Elon Musk was getting into computers, had near monopoly on artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence talent. So the people who were most capable of working with artificial intelligence were working for this one company. And in his discussions with the CEO of that company or the main person behind artificial intelligence in that company, Elon Musk basically raised the issue of the dangers of AI. And in that context, that adversary of Elon Musk basically said that he sees no difference between digital conscience and biological conscience. So if a human being can think and have consciousness and awareness, and if a computer can think and have awareness of the world, perceive the world, then he doesn't see the difference between the two, whereas Elon Musk claims that he does. So I think right now the world of AI is divided between two people, those who treat biological and technological consciousness as equal, For them, AI is just tremendous potential, and they are not worried about the dangers of AI. Whereas those who privilege biological consciousness over technological consciousness, I think for them, ethics, law, etc., really matters. And so they are worried about, while they're enjoying and appreciate the potential of AI, they are really worried about what AI can do. For those of you who are wondering, don't have much idea, we are already using AI significantly. When you say, "Hey Siri" on your iPhones, Siri is an artificial intelligence that you're engaging with. When you talk to your car, the self-driving cars, they're all managed and controlled by an artificial intelligence, which is performing human functions of seeing, judging, driving, controlling, etc. So artificial intelligence is already there, and we are already using it and benefiting from it. But I think it is important to understand, and for you yourself to ask this question, whether you privilege biological consciousness over technological consciousness. The second question, or the second issue that Elon Musk raised, was to say that until now, human beings have been the most intelligent beings on the planet Earth. And now he feels that they are going to be confronting with an intelligence that is vastly superior to those. So he feels that there isn't the number of functions which humans can perform better than artificial intelligence and computers are diminishing. So there are fewer and fewer, we have fewer and fewer functions where human beings are able to do better than computers. He did not identify them, but he feels that eventually the computers will be able to do everything better than human beings. And that moment he calls is a singularity. And then what will we do when everything that we can potentially do is done better than us by computers? A singularity in science really means, it's like in English when we say awesome, scientists say singularity. What they mean is that a slight difference can have a huge impact. That's a singularity. And the context in which Elon was saying was that moment when we find that computers are superior to humans in every aspect of every task that needs to be performed. At that moment, we don't know what the future is going to be like. And that moment when we are unsure of what the future is going to be a singularity. So that was an interesting point that he found out. And it made me think as to, will we allow ourselves to reach that moment of singularity? Will we do something to stop that from happening? Or will we simply go ahead and enjoy the potential of artificial intelligence until we hit the moment where artificial intelligence takes over our lives and our planet and everything else? So that is the question: is can we identify and prepare ourselves for that moment when we can either stop this scientific development or find an alternate way of essentially permanently postponing that moment of singularity? The third issue that he raised while talking to Tucker Carlson is, what can it do? What can AI do to essentially compromise what we think is truth in this world? And a corollary of that would be, what can AI do to democracy? Elon Musk says that since artificial intelligence can write better than us, it is much, much, much smarter, has tremendous computing capabilities. It can understand the patterns of communications that are going on, say, on Twitter, on Facebook, or Instagram. And since it can draw, maybe even make videos and write better than us, it can produce content which will be highly influential. So you would have bots driven by artificial intelligence who are the most influential social media operators. And if they are controlled by somebody with an ideological agenda, or if they have their own preferences, which they have developed through various iterations of rewriting their own algorithms, then you have a situation where the artificial intelligence can basically manipulate everybody in that chat room, in that on that platform, and shape their opinion and essentially determine their political choices. So in that sense, we will all become slaves to technology. We will not be able to make independent judgment. And so what happens to democracy essentially is that it becomes a technological autocracy. I mean, this is not what Elon said. I'm just extrapolating further from the fact that if artificial intelligence bots can manipulate data to such extent by writing better than us, thinking better than us, presenting information better than us, then of course they can control our minds to a great extent, and they can shape our preferences. And if they can understand our patterns, they can produce fake moments, fake political information, fake videos, etc., in order to completely manipulate that. So if they are still controlled by somebody, then that party will definitely subvert democracy and replace that with some kind of technological totalitarianism. And if it's not controlled by human beings, then God save us. And oh, by the way, when the idea of the soul was raised by Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk looked very uncomfortable. And he said, I look at things scientifically. So for me, the chances that there is a soul is just as high as there is not a soul. So he's halfway there, I think, to accepting digital consciousness. If there is no soul, then what's the difference between digital consciousness and biological consciousness? I wish Tucker Carlson had asked that question back, and we could have got an answer from Elon Musk. But let's leave it there. Maybe he will answer that on Twitter. Tucker wanted to know whether artificial intelligence should be regulated, and clearly Elon Musk is for regulation. He argues that, and I think he makes a very sound argument, that anything that has the potential to harm human beings is regulated, like food and drugs. We have a food and drug agency which makes sure that, well, it doesn't really do a good job. That's why I'm so fat. But but at least it tries to ensure that medicines which are out there do not have too many negative impacts. They are tested, and the same with food, etc. And we have all kinds of other regulatory agencies which are essentially out there trying to prevent harm from happening to people. If you're hearing certain sounds which are unusual, I apologize to you. Sultan is playing out there, and he is teething, so he's playing with his teething toys, and a couple of them are quite heavy, and so you hear that loud noise. So he's for regulation, and his worry is that because the speed with which the technology is improving, so he talks about how GPT-1 was not really very good, GPT-2 GPT-3 was a significant improvement, and we all know how good GPT-4 is. And he says, well, when we have 5 and 6 and 7, and what is going to happen? They're going to get better and better and better, to such an extent that perhaps we may even lose the capacity to regulate AI. So if we do not have rules, laws, norms, ethics about the usage and production of AI and research on AI and regulate it, it is quite possible that the next 2 or 3 generations of artificial intelligence technology might be able to overcome whatever regulatory regimes we construct. And so we may just not be capable of regulating it. So whatever regulations have to come in quick now, if not yesterday. So these are the points that Elon Musk raised, and I think they're quite scary. We have been talking about this in science fiction books and movies, etc., how computers will take over, see the Matrix movie, for example, the series of Matrix movies, where basically computers will dominate humanity, use human beings as slaves, or essentially trigger a genocide protocol. So that is what we have thought. But now, listening to Elon Musk, it looks that that is no more science fiction. It could be a science reality very soon. So, coming to our field of geopolitics and international affairs, uh, can it play a role? Of course, it can play a role. At the minimum, it is a new generation of technology. Artificial intelligence can control robots. Robots can be tanks, robots can be drones, robots can be fighter jets without pilots. And so all of these will be controlled. And just like a self-driving car, you can have a self-driving maybe 55, F-55, which will go around and could be a very devastating weapon. And with the very fact that there are no human beings in it, we might be able to use them with greater risk. The only risk is the cost of the instruments and the weapons. So yes, at the minimum, it's going to give a significant advantage to whoever has artificial intelligence. So I won't be surprised if the seventh and eighth generation jet fighters are completely controlled by artificial intelligence. Uh, and and it is also possible that the country that has the most talent, like for example, right now, where is the major research of artificial intelligence taking place? Google, OpenAI, Amazon, Microsoft. So these are the companies which are American companies based in America, which are doing most of the artificial intelligence research. So America has a tremendous advantage over other countries because it is able to produce this technology, deploy this technology. So it could be, for example, you could argue that if American hegemony extends significantly into the 23rd, 24th century, perhaps it could be based because of the significant AI advantage that America has on other countries. So hegemony would be the reward for countries which invest heavily in AI. Now, it is quite possible that other countries who can speed ahead of the United States through better research and better control of artificial intelligence, then perhaps they can produce a world which is counter-hegemonic and replace the United States. So it can be a game changer in that. So I think that artificial intelligence is going to clearly be one of the most scary thing for people in the military too. For those of you who are geopolitics students, Muqtedar used to say that that nation which controls Central Asia, the heartlands, will control the world. And then the American Mahan said, "He who rules the seas will rule the world." Well, I'm telling you that that country, which has a significant advantage in artificial intelligence, will continue to dominate the world and be hegemonic. So I hope you found these points and this discussion useful and interesting and thought-provoking. If so, please subscribe to Khanversations, like the video, make sure you ring the bell icon, and don't forget to share this with your friends and relatives, socio-political network. If you have your own bots, please ask those bots to share this on Twitter, Instagram, and elsewhere. So until next time, this is Muqtedar Khan. Be safe, be happy, be nice, be good. Take care.